Welcome one and all to the next episode of Minecraft with me, WolyThoctar. We've got our giant villager trading hall in the background that we built in the last episode, getting more and more coppery.
I know words, I have the best words.
Whatever you want to call that. We're getting more teal with our roofing there. But this episode is not about the structure. It's about what's inside. And inside this trading hall we have a lot of villagers that we don't necessarily have enough resources to trade with. I've been a busy bee breeding these bees. So I have a bunch of bees in my base here because I've been breeding them up in some beehives that I collected from over yonder. And I've also been building up this little structure around my wool farm. And all of this is to decorate and enclose, but also to give me a space to build a honeycomb and honey block farm that I can put up here in my greenhouse area with all this glass. So all these busy bees are gonna be migrated up into here. Once we set it up, let's do a quick look into the inside of this. There's almost literally nothing here right now. You can hear all the sheep below. The top is all black concrete, but there's actually a design up there that I'll show off in a minute. But in here is where we're going to be sticking our automated bee farm. I have most of the material I need for this. I just need to take the time to actually put it all in so that the honey and the honeycombs can be harvested and stored. We'll be getting to that in a moment. First, let's head up top and get an aerial shot of what this bad boy looks like. Let's get around over here because the design is supposed to be something. It might be a little bit tricky to see as I'm flying in, but from here, you guys might be able to tell that this is an homage to what the honey icon looks like in the Monster Hunter series. We've got the kind of hexagonal honeycombs here, is dark on one side, missing the top corner up there. So I added a lot of texturing here with jungle wood and oak, stripped oak logs and stuff to make it a little less bland, and I think it might kind of make it harder to tell what it's supposed to be, but I thought this was a fun way to kind of bring some honey vibes, question mark, to the building, because otherwise it's just kind of like a big glass box. The bottom I created out of mostly birch wood, some sandstone, both blocks and cut sandstone, and some of the polished fancy one, I don't remember the name of this block, and some terracotta in the corners as well, just to give it a bit of texture along the sides. But I like the idea of keeping it light. The glass is supposed to be transparent. I might actually get rid of some of the black or do a different roof in there because it is pretty harsh. Back on the topic of the trading hall, we did a lot of trading with the villagers that trade for iron and for wool, and we've got a wool farm, but there's a lot of other things that we don't have, like a proper sugarcane farm and a bunch of other things. So we're going to be working on automating some of that so that the supply of emeralds we're getting continues to flow steadily. And now, completely unrelated to emeralds, it's time to start building a bee farm. So first off, I realized that the sandstone slab floor I put in so that mobs won't spawn is actually going to be in the way for the bee farm. So we got to tear this out, and then we'll start putting in all of the other stuff that we need. Alright, so now that that's clear and out of the way, I've collected everything that I think I need to build this farm. It's going to be a really simple one. I'm just going to use dispensers, observers, hoppers to shoot out some bottles and collect them into all the beehives I've collected. And then I've got a bunch of flowers that the bees can use to pollinate and create the honey. So I will get right down to it. Let's start building.
just work us to death?
We'll sure try.
This is about the time I realized I'm going to need a truckload of glass to make the amount of glass bottles I'm going to need to fill up all the dispensers in this farm. So I went to the desert to collect some sand. I'm gonna need a truckload of glass.
Okay, so we have most of the dispensers filled up with bottles and shears. They're not completely full, but everything has something in it. And all of the beehives are actually already full of honey, and the bees are kind of just wasting their time right now. So what I need to do is send a redstone pulse through all of this wiring. That should set up all the dispensers for their first run, empty out the beehives, and then this farm will be up and running from there onwards. So let's break that. I think this should reach to all of them, so let's take a look. Yeah, that is everything. Whew. Alright, so that probably just shot a ton of bottles out. Let's add that there. And yes, these are all... oh, they're almost all empty. Some of them are already full already. Oh, wait. Is that... that's because these dispensers don't have anything in them. Oh, ho, ho, that's tricky. Oh, man, I didn't think about that. I'm not going to be able to access those. Alright, well, there's some more changes to make to this farm, clearly, but otherwise, I think these guys are working correctly, right? Yeah. Oh, we've got a honey bottle in you. Oh, the honey bottles are going into the dispensers. Oh, that's bad. They should not be going back inside. Let's go downstairs. Check under here. Okay, so some of the honey bottles are coming out, and the honeycomb, but some of it's landing back in the dispensers. We're going to have to distribute bottles in there. That should actually fix it. As long as there's empty bottles in every space of the dispenser like this, then no honey bottles can come back in. So that should be a pretty easy fix. I don't have to completely redesign. But that means I need to make some adjustments. The next farm we're going to be building is going to be a way that we can get a ton of paper for all the villagers and cartographers that are in the training hall already. So we're out here near the iron farm, which you guys can see off in the background. I'm really bad at F5 camera. That one over there. And I found a big open space here where I'm going to be building a sugarcane farm. And this is going to be more automated than just the little patch of sugarcane that I have over near my starter house. This is going to use flying machines to sweep across the field, break down all the sugarcane, and then I'm going to have hopper minecarts underneath it, picking it all up. I'm going to be following another tutorial that I'll link in the description from Sugarcraft. Really helpful, really well put together tutorial. So without further ado, I've gotten all of the materials that I need for this project. They're all set up here, these shulker boxes. So I think this should be everything. Let's get started on clearing this area out. Alright, we've cleared out a 20 block by 40 block area. This is where the farm is going to get started. And we've already filled up one shulker box full of blocks. So if you're doing this, make sure you have extra chest space to put all of this stuff away in.
So now we have our hopper minecart collection system set up underneath where all the sugarcane is going to be growing. So the next step is to cover it all up with the dirt blocks and water blocks that we're going to need. And a creeper just blew everything up. And now that everything's covered over, it's time to start putting in bottom slabs so we can put in the water sources to allow the sugarcane to grow on top of the dirt and grass. And that should be all of the water sources filled in throughout the whole thing. And now we get to build the fun part, the flying machine. Alright, I think it is ready to go, and it's time to send this baby on its maiden voyage with actual sugarcane coming out of it. And this should send it on its way. It didn't work. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. What if we speed it up and switch it over here? Is that it? It stops. Oh, okay. Oh! Sneeze.